Okay, today we're going to do a video on how to kind of work with this artwork that we've got in front of us here. It needs to be separated from the background for starters, and next thing we're going to need to do is probably clean up the edges because if uh, I look at the image size here, not really seeing a resolution that I want for a big old back print, so I'm going to go ahead and resize this for starters. Um, Whatever, good enough for me. Let's just take it up to 300. Alright. Got a little blur going on, but I think it's going to be fine when it prints. So this one wasn't too bad in terms of how it was affected by the resolution, so we had enough pixels to work with. It will probably look a little sloppy when we try to cut it from the background, so let's do that right quick. So you can see I've got a flat image right here on a white background, so I want to strip it out of there. I'm just going to use my magic wand tool. It seems like the easiest bet, just to select all the white around here. I've got my tolerance down at 1, so I'm only just getting the bright white. You can see it did pretty good. I probably need some work around some edges, but now all I need to do is go select inverse. Now I've got the center portion selected, and if I hit Command J, I call it the jump. It basically jumps that up to its own layer. It's still on the previous layer, which now I'm just going to select all and fill with the foreground color of black so I can see what I'm doing. And it's going on a black shirt, so this makes the most sense to look at it like this. Alright, so let's just zoom in on this layer and see what's happening. Obviously, I see I got some crustiness out here I want to get rid of. Yeah, there's kind of like this grimy stroke that needs to go. And I picked up a lot of information right here that I don't really want. I think I'm just going to get surgical with this part and actually kind of remove it by hand. So the way I do that is I'm going to use my polygonal lasso tool, this guy right here, and I'm just going to start a little up from it. We're on that layer, select all, okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to, each time you press the mouse button it puts down a new point, so if you're kind of hugging a curve you can just put down a bunch of points like this. And I just kind of want to shave off this white area. I know there's a little gray right behind it that's going to help define this edge. So like this, and then I close it off and just hit delete. Boom. Cleaned up that part. And now we're going to do this edge right here. So let me just start down here. And you know, I can approximate a curve by putting in a bunch of points. I'm essentially only using straight line segments, but I can get close to a curve, and I'm zoomed in a decent amount, so we're not going to be able to see it as much when we back out. I am going to use my eraser just to get rid of this stuff. Alright, so that one's pretty much done. Let's fly over and do the other side. I'm going to just use the same technique. Start up here a little bit. Might as well get this junk at the end all in one fell swoop as well. And then this edge, just gonna start right about here. Delete that. Alright, I've got my wingtips all cleaned up. Next step is I'm going to want to clean up all that junk around the edges. So what I want to do is command click on that layer, so it selects everything on that layer, and and I want to bring my selection in basically. So I'm going to say select, modify, contract, and I'm thinking, let's get a little more aggressive, 6 pixels in. You can see how far I brought it in there. That's just going to help me shave off a lot of this garbage on the edge and hopefully get a smoother edge. And one way I'm going to get a smoother edge, I'm going to go select, modify, feather. I'm going to feather it with 3 pixels, and that just kind of softens up that edge. And so now all I need is my eraser tool to start making this happen. So let's just go ahead and get our eraser, and right now I have this area selected, so you can see I can operate in there, but I can't operate out here. So what I want to do is select inverse, because I'm going to be shaving off everything outside here. So if I start kind of right here, I can kind of just work my way around. And if I hide those marching ants, I can kind of see more what's happening. This is actually going quite quick, which is good. Sweet. And I want to get in all close to that guy. Like up to there. Sweet. Likewise, I want to get close on the bottom. Cool. And we know from experience the rest of it can be just knocked off pretty quick. There's some garbage right there that I might need to come back to. But for the most part, this is stripping off pretty clean. Let's hide these layers. Zoom in so we can get a close cut right there. Alright. Given the graininess of the artwork, that's actually looking pretty healthy to me. I'm going to select all and just come at this with my eraser freehand just to get a little of that fuzz that I was seeing. I think it was just mostly happening in that area. Yeah, it looks like it kind of dissipates. So there, I've got a nice clean cut. This guy's on its own layer, looking nice and crispy, and now we're pretty much ready to separate. So yeah, that's just a quick video on how I'd go about cutting this guy out and trying to get a somewhat clean edge. So yeah, that's it.